A reading from John's Gospel, chapter 1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was with God in the beginning. Through him all things were made. Without him nothing was made that has been made. In him was life, and that life was the light of all mankind. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. There was a man sent from God whose name was John. He came as a witness to testify concerning that light, so that through him all might believe. He himself was not the light. He came only as a witness to the light. The true light that gives light to everyone was coming into the world. He was in the world, and though the world was made through him, the world did not recognize him. He came to that which was his own, but his own did not receive him. Yet to all who did receive him, to those who believed in his name, he gave the right to become children of God. Children born not of natural descent, nor of human decision, or of a husband's will, but born of God. Whether we're conscious of it or not, our lives are all linked together. As the poet John Donne famously said, "No man is an island, each is a part of the continent." And yet our world, this Christmas, as in so many other times past, is utterly full of division. And we're divided by all sorts of things, by class, by race, by our creeds, by our nationality. And we might ask then, what is it? What is it that unites us? And it's often the case that when there's a tragedy comes to a community, suddenly the barriers come down. Just for a short time, there are no strangers, no wealthy people, no poor people, no Christians or Muslims or Jews, just brothers and sisters in the same boat, helping each other to get through. The Russian writer Dostoevsky spent 4 years in a Siberian prison, and it was a dark, bleak experience for him, which brought him into contact with some really desperate men. But in his book, Memoirs from the House of the Dead, he gives a moving account of what Christmas Day meant to these men. He tells us that on Christmas Day, the mood of the prisoners was really touching. They felt that they were not altogether outcasts. They were not lost souls, pieces of flotsam. They felt like human beings, and that they had bonds with each other and with the rest of the world. Christmas Day took them out of themselves. Even the most frugal among them thought it their duty to be open-handed on a day like this. And Christmas always affects us too. There's something about it that is a great levelling off. Nobody can feel really very superior to anyone else on this day. And neither should anybody feel inferior to anyone. It should put an end to all elitism. That's not that Christmas reduces us to the same common denominator, as happens when people perhaps share the same hospital ward or prison cell. It's rather Christmas achieves this levelling off, not by lowering us all, but by lifting us all up together. And just as a rising tide lifts all of the boats in the harbour, so Christmas lifts all of us. It's as if we're placed on a higher plateau. Christmas gathers us all together in a great universal fellowship in the name of Jesus Christ. And on this day, we experience the brotherhood and the sisterhood of all human beings. Jesus turns a foreigner into a neighbour. He turns a stranger into a sister or brother. And this This is the miracle of Christmas. On Christmas Day, we feel at one with everyone. We feel a desire to reach out to others. Christmas Day takes us out of our narrow world and breaks our selfish habits. It enables us to see our selfishness, to see our prejudice for what they are. We are put in touch with our common humanity, with our shared fears, and most of all, our shared hopes.